What's up, everyone? This is Corey Porter of Read the Coverage Sports, back with another video for y'all. So today, we're going to take a look at Patrick Mahomes just lost the Super Bowl. What does that mean exactly? In the grand scheme of things, nothing. This is year 3, and he's in his second Super Bowl. He's in back-to-back Super Bowls, and I'd be hard-pressed to find someone that doesn't think they're going to make it back again next year. You know, the game did not go the Chiefs' way in any way, shape, or form. The penalties weren't there. Whether you think that the officials were calling a really tight game versus the Chiefs as opposed to the Bucs, you can make that argument, but they weren't getting done what they needed to get done. They were already down their left tackle in Eric Fisher, who injured his Achilles in the championship game, an AFC championship game. You know, and ultimately what it comes down to is the Chiefs' offense as a whole just did not play like they've played the last 2 years. From going to be one of the most unstoppable offenses, they didn't even score a touchdown tonight. They scored 3 field goals. They lost 31-9. A lot of things are going to be said about, was the moment too big for Patrick Mahomes, this, that, or another? And honestly, I think no. I'm not even going to get into the stats because they don't really tell the story of what happened tonight. If you actually watch the game, Patrick Mahomes really played phenomenal. He was under constant duress and pressure. There was people in his face all the time. He was having to roll out, make moves. You know, he's having to backpedal, 15, 20 yards and roll out just to get any type of ability to even throw the ball. He had people in his face so hard against a really tough, stringent Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. They were bringing everything at him on a regular basis, and really for the most part he did a really good job surviving through that. Where the Kansas City Chiefs offense failed is the receivers. There's way too many drop passes. There's way too many just issues like that. If you go back and just look at a pure throw-to-throw analysis, there's a couple throws in particular, 2 in particular that I'm thinking of, under pressure, on the run, getting hit, where Patrick Mahomes made maybe 2 of the best throws of his career in an already just incredible just throw analysis career. There's so many throws that are just oh, that's the best throw you may have ever seen. There's 2 throws like that tonight, and already just a substantial career in that aspect that receivers dropped on big third downs, going for touchdowns. There was one, he was getting hit while rolling out to his right, and he's falling down, and he just whips it sidearm, and just a beautiful throw. It gets right on the money where it needs to go. It may have been tipped a little bit right before getting to the receiver, but it hits the receiver right where it needs to go, and he drops it. That's not on Patrick Mahomes. Now, ultimately, he's the quarterback, and so it's all going to fall back on him, as it shouldn't, whatever you want to go with, but to put this game on Patrick Mahomes, I think, is incredibly unfair. Now, this is only his, 3rd year? There's going to be time. Unfortunately, the guy he had to throw passes against was Tom Brady. He's the greatest of all time. Whether he's in New England or he's in Tampa Bay, it doesn't matter where he goes. He's going to elevate his level of play when the moment needs it the most. And that, again, not to say that Patrick Mahomes didn't do that, because I think he absolutely did. I think he played phenomenal. And again, a lot of people are going to be very critical on him that just look at the stats and then look at the score sheet and everything like that, and I think that's unfair. I think if you were to eliminate the stats and just look at the film and just watch how he played, you would have no idea what his stats were, because I think he played phenomenal. I don't think it was one of his best games by any stretch of the imagination. And obviously Tom Brady outdueled him and played better, but again, that's Tom Brady. That's going to happen sometimes, even at a 43-year-old Tom Brady. Patrick Mahomes has time. I have no doubt Patrick Mahomes is going to be in this stage again, if not next year or the following year, but I 100% believe that he will be on this stage again next year. I think moving forward for the Chiefs, they've got Tyreek Hill, who I don't think played as well as he should have. Travis Kelce, who played phenomenal. He had 10 catches for 130 yards. Then you've got guys like Sammy Watkins and Hardman, and then Pringle, who just did not step up. If you look at what the Bucs did majority of the game, and I know this was talked about pretty substantially throughout the coverage, they were majority of the time playing two high safeties. They were keeping everything underneath them and then just rallying to the ball and making tackles. They weren't letting Tyreek Hill get loose. Travis Kelce was able to do a lot of damage, but a lot of that was near the end of the game or in that garbage time situation where it was kind of too late to really matter, but he's still a phenomenal tight end. I think it was really a lot of those role players, and they don't have much of a running game. Their rookie running back is good, but he's not a take-over-the-game runner. And Le'Veon Bell, which I'll be honest with you, at this moment, I don't even know if he played. I know he's been has a nagging injury. He's done. I think we can officially close the book on him. He's done. Whether it was with the Jets the last year and a half or this year, the half of the year that he was in Kansas City, I think he's done. He'll probably get like a meager contract to go somewhere, and he may put up decent stats. But I think not that he's been near the top of the running back food chain in the last 2 years, but any conversation of him ever getting back there, I think, is probably done. The Buccaneers were able to get to Patrick Mahomes really without bringing much, if any, pressure. They were able to rush 3, rush 4, and just get there. And they were able to keep everything contained and everything in front of them, which made it really difficult. You had to be patient, and it's hard to be patient when your offensive line isn't blocking anybody or is just not capable of blocking anybody. You've got Jason Pierre-Paul, you get Ndamukong Suh. You've got big guys like that are just really working, and just working your offensive line. I would be really interested to see how much different the game would have been with Eric Fisher. But seeing what they did, I don't know that it would be much different. Eric Fisher would obviously be able to provide a lot more ample protection for Patrick, but we talked about, or people talked about, how the Bucs were going all in this year, and they did. And I don't know that there was anything that was really going to stop them from winning that Super Bowl. You got 2 touchdowns from Rob Gronkowski, just having a phenomenal game, blast from the past. You had Antonio Brown scoring a touchdown. Like, the 3 players who dominated the game were the 3 offensively for the Buccaneers, were the 3 offseason acquisitions. It's hard to argue that it worked. I mean, obviously they won the Super Bowl, but even beyond that, like, they were a quarterback away. They were a Jameis Winston throwing 30 interceptions away from being a good team. And Tom Brady took them over the top. And I don't know, it's similar to the year when Peyton Manning, there was not going to be anything to stop them from winning a Super Bowl. I think there's just these years where a Hall of Fame caliber player like that is just going to win. And that's just, there's no stopping them. And this was Tom Brady's year. I don't foresee him retiring. I wouldn't be surprised if he was back next year. He played fairly well throughout the course of the year, and they finally started to gel as the season progressed. And now that they've got that chemistry going, they could be a problem here for the future years. Be interested to see what a guy like Antonio Brown does if he sticks around. Rob Gronkowski says he would like to stick around. There's a lot of contract money to go around. If they're willing to stay for cheap, Buccaneers could be scary. Todd Bowles will be back around. That defense is only going to get better. They've got a lot of youth, especially in the secondary. Antoine Winfield Jr. is phenomenal. We'll see what they do on the defensive line with guys like JPP and Suh. They can keep that kind of going. But going back to the Chiefs, I think something that isn't going to be brought up, maybe it should. There is a lot of drama circulating around the Chiefs right now because of what happened to Andy Reid's son. What was that, Thursday? So those are issues. There's no excuses. They lost the game in a poor fashion. They, again, one of the most potent offenses recently, couldn't even score a touchdown. That's about all you need to know. But I think Patrick Mahomes will be fine. I expect to see him again on the big stage, if not next year, within 2 years. But I would be banking that they will be back next year. But anyways, that's it, guys, and we will see y'all next time.